What is happening, wrestling fans? Hardcore Kid here with a very special, awesome, all-in edition of the Hardcore Podcast. To the left, I have Otaku Nate.
This is the worst wrestling event I've ever been to.
And our guest reviewers, we have, of course, Duke.
Sup?
And making his big return, I believe this is his first appearance on the Hardcore Podcast, but he was actually a reviewer just like us for a number of years. I believe he was part of the Land Before Time collaboration many years ago that I also took part in. It is Writrzblok, a.k.a. Jeff Gwinnett.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, how you doing? How is everybody this fine afternoon?
Doing okay.
That's
Doing
good.
just fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, we actually came back from Starrcast and All in Chicago, Schaumburg, Illinois, this past weekend. You're probably wondering how we were able to afford all that. Well, tell us, Nate.
Okay, so I planned to watch All In. Maybe I'd buy the pay-per-view, maybe I wouldn't, but I was more interested in Starrcast, because, you know, hey, I like podcasts and wrestling-related things. I love wrestling podcasts. My personal favorite being What Happened When? Mondays with Tony Schiavone. So I bought the Starrcast pay-per-view on discount at Otakon, because it was the last day they were selling it for $80. Thing usually was going for around like $100. So it was around the 25th or so, and I was in the middle of Acme, doing my job, wasting away my career there. And then suddenly, I get an email from Fight.tv saying that I was the winner of the Fight.tv All-In drawing.
Wow.
Yeah. They apparently held it on Twitch, and I didn't attend it because reasons. And I had to email them back saying, this is a joke. This has to be a joke. This cannot be real. Sure enough, Keith Evans from Fight.tv, God bless him, he emailed me back and saying, you know, yes it is. We are going to be flying to Chicago, Schaumburg actually.
Schaumburg,
for
Hoffman
both
Estates.
All In and Starrcast. All expenses paid, though transportation was not included.
Ugh.
And yeah, we got to be a part of wrestling history and had a pretty fun convention. So we're going to split this up into two parts. First, we're going to talk about Starrcast, and then we're going to talk about All In a separate video.
Yeah, so Starrcast was held at the
Hyatt Regency.
Hyatt Regency in Schaumburg, Illinois. Pretty big hotel.
I've seen bigger.
I've seen bigger. The hotel rooms was like the biggest room I've ever gotten. Like there's like two separate sections. There's like a living room, a little dining room area, another room for the beds, and two TVs, two bathrooms.
Jinx.
Yeah, but I actually uploaded a video on my channel just doing a little tour of the place, and I'm like, this is the worst hotel room I've ever been in. Man, making fun of SCU. SCU!
We'll be talking about SoCal Uncensored, even though no, I'll save that joke for later.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
but so the convention center,
it was.
It looked like it. Was this the first time they've had Starrcast?
Yeah, this is the first, and it might be the only time, because Conrad did an interview saying that he might be all out for the next one, and I bumped into Conrad several times. Conrad Thompson, by the way, can we just appreciate everything he's done for the wrestling business in the past year? You know, he's a real estate agent by day. He hosts 3 wrestling podcasts with Bruce Pritchard, Tony Schiavone, and Eric Bischoff separately, and he organized this whole thing. And I'll give him credit, you know, I know that a lot of people were talking about the disorganization, we'll talk about that, but let's be honest. Organizing a convention, especially one at this scale, is hard. There's a lot that goes into organizing a convention. Trust a guy who knows, who's been going to these things, mostly the anime type, for years upon years now. When you have a convention of this magnitude, with this many guests, there's going to be a lot of snafu, and unfortunately, there was some throughout the weekend, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, especially when you consider that this whole event, the show, like the all-in show, sold out. The attendance round up to 10,411 people, and quite a good number of them actually attended Starrcast alongside it.
I'm guessing there was like 2,000 people there
at
in
least.
a hotel that could hold like, in a hotel space that could hold like 3,000. Like, the main issue, the big choke point was the main hallway. That's where, like, they had all the meet and greet tables out there. They had some pretty good guests.
Yeah, they got all kinds of guests. I got a whole collection of autographs that I got this weekend.
Me too.
I got Young Bucks, Cody, Scott Steiner, Steiner Mania.
Can we save that for later? But
oh, okay.
But they had a lot of really cool guests. You know, you had the members of the Elite, along with other stars from the present like Jay Lethal, Tessa Blanchard. I heard PCO, who I was excited to meet, and we'll talk about PCO in a minute. Oh boy. Bandito, Ray Phoenix, Pentagon, Joey Ryan, guys from the wrestling podcasting world like Josh Chernoff, who's a member of the After Chat. Speaking of which, you had Bill Apter, you had Bruce Pritchard, Tony Schiavone, Eric Bischoff, Jeff Jarrett.
Just about everybody.
Along with, and for some reason, David Arquette and Macaulay Culkin.
Hey, why not? Why not, right?
Hey.
Sure.
Who could you imagine a crossover between Home Alone and wrestling? Actually, I could see that. I could totally see Matt
easily.
I could totally see it being the Elite episode where Matt and Nick are just like setting up traps to catch those stupid Barry the Bear and Bernard the Bear who were breaking into their house or something.
Played by Jim Cornette and Vince. Actually, no, that would never work.
Maybe it really was Cornette and Russo. Maybe it's a swerve, brother.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you had the entirety of the Bullet Club. You had Kota Ibushi. You had Brutus Magnus, or as he's known by his real name, Nick Aldis. Jay Lethal, Phoenix, Chelsea Green, Stephen Amell from Arrow, who also had a match. Rey Mysterio, Jerry Lynn, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky, Nash, Hall, and X-Pac, DDP, Bruce Pritchard, Jeff Jarrett, Conan, Lex Luger, just about like everybody you could think of that isn't in WWE right now.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing, and I got a lot of autographs by everybody.
Me too.
It was a little bit of a confusion because apparently, as far as VIP goes, the meet and greets with the Bullet Club were free for me, but I had to actually show.
They didn't give us like lanyards to indicate that like we were the Fight.tv contest winners.
Oh yeah, that you know that stuff happens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, it's someone like who has gone to like conventions and such, man. You seemed like there were probably some issues there. So.
Yeah, but as a result, I ended up not getting to meet Marty Scurll, but I met everyone else. So hey.
Mm-hmm.
Not a
well, at least
loss.
your fingers didn't get snapped.
Oh
so
God, that's true. Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. I got a lot of shirts. I got a Young Bucks shirt, a shirt that says "This is the worst town I've ever been in." I got a USA Bullet Club shirt. It's basically the Bullet Club logo, but it's got the red, white, and blue flag stripes on it. And I also got an all-in shirt, and it's got like a whole sold out. It's got a picture of the Sears Center on it, and it's really cool.
Yeah, I've got 2 all-in shirts as part of the Starrcast prize pack, along with a free art print of What Happened When? Where Tony Schiavone, Conrad, and a few other of the people involved are drawn like Simpsons characters.
Yeah.
I got a free all-in poster, along with a cap, pen, bottle opener.
Yeah, I got some pins too. Even though I don't like put pins in my jacket. Like
yeah, I got
I still have my leather jacket from my hardcore kid movie reviews days, but I don't put like pins in it or anything.
The only real merchandise that I bought a Los Ingobernables de Japón t-shirt because I am not a Bullet Club mark.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
You will eventually. You'll eventually make that turn.
Hey, LIJ is cooler, man. Bullet Club is old hat.
Boo! Hiss!
Let them fight. Let them fight. Let them fight.
And the other shirt I got was one of my favorite wrestler of all time, Bruiser Brody.
Hoss! Hoss! Hoss!
We'll talk about that in a moment. And I also got a High Spots DVD of Jim Crockett Promotions, The Good Old Days. Because I heard it's really good, and I want to watch it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and yeah, the big issue was definitely like the hotel. What wasn't, well, going back to it, it was a big hotel, but it wasn't big enough to carry
The
like
hallways,
all the whole.
yeah.
The halls just like were cramped.
Yeah, especially when there were lines for the Mahogany Ballroom, and for the meet
vendors,
the meet and greets
lines.
Yeah, especially because Dave Milliken, God bless him, he's a collector of all sorts of wrestling props and what have you. Dave Milliken set up a whole like Legends room where he had a whole table full of belts, like ring worn belts.
Championships, not belts.
Thank you, Jim
Nice.
Cornette.
Yeah.
They had everything from like the old TNA titles, like the X Division champions, the Knockout tag titles, the old penny tag belts that WWE had.
They even had a UFC championship that
They
I
had the
made my Facebook picture.
They had an NWA title, though it wasn't ring used. They even had like the old WWF belt.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that is old.
They had like the
yeah.
Southern Wrestling Tag Team Championships. Those were the oldest belts. Like, we're talking like from the early 60s those belts were.
That's old school.
Yeah.
Well, then again, you had the NWA title there, which is oldest belt around.
In
at this
kayfabe.
point.
In kayfabe.
Oh.
The NWA belt is actually, I believe, 70 years old, but they kayfabed it to being from like 1905.
Maybe it is. Maybe they just reuse the same materials and just have to.
No.
I don't know. Stitch up a few belts here and there.
The 10 pounds of gold belt is for the National Wrestling Alliance, not the National Wrestling Association.
Ah, okay. I get it now.
Two different promos. So, yeah, the dealer's room was pretty good. Mostly they were selling shirts and had some more meet and greets in there. I'm gonna go get my autographs just to list off like who I got signed by. So, yeah, the problems, of course, were with the crowds and the confusion with the meet and greets, because you had to buy a ticket to get into the events.
Yeah, and that was a bit of a cluster.
Yeah, I mean, I got into the firing squad signing, and I thought that I wasn't supposed to be there because I didn't have my ticket, but apparently, like, all I had to do was just show them my Fight.tv verification email.
And it's also good. There was one security guard dude with the tattoos there that where I was able to show everything, and then when I'd see him again, I'd show him the thing, and I'm like, hey, yeah, you can go right in then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if they knew you. One of the security guards, of course, if you listen to any of Conrad's podcasts, was Casio Kid. I actually struck up a good conversation with him.
Yeah, he was actually one of the speakers at the Botchamania panel.
Yes, he was. So yeah, I think we should talk about what panels we went to at Starrcast. So the first panel we went to after we got dinner was the Botchamania panel.
Yeah, that was under the tent, and you had Matthew there, you had the
Casio
Kid, and a couple other guys.
Tony Schiavone.
And
Ron Funches.
Oh, yeah.
And Ron Funches. Those guys were hilarious.
I saw your little. Oh, by the way, I saw your interview, Nate, with Tony Schiavone on Facebook. Good stuff, man.
Thank you. We'll get to that. So, it obviously, since this is an independent show, Matthew couldn't show any WWE, WCW stuff, but he did show some fun stuff from the indies, including an old What Culture Pro Wrestling clip featuring Doug Williams diving off the top rope and landing on his head.
Just so much.
He fell like a lawn dart.
Are we sure he's still alive today?
Like,
well, cloning is a thing now, so
it felt like his head should be surgically attached to his shoulders after that fall.
Ugh.
Like, Like, Disco and Conan talk about guys who go splat. That was a splat if ever there was one.
And towards the end, Cody Rhodes actually did a run-in into the panel and discussed a botch that he had with Ted DiBiase Jr. And a bunch of those other guys from back then.
A six-man tag. It was Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase Jr., Daniel Bryan against Ezekiel Jackson, Sin Cara, and whoever the other guy was. Basically, what he said happened.
Wade Barrett, I think.
Yeah, Wade Barrett.
No.
It was Wade Barrett. So basically, what happened was that they were going to tear the house and they were going to have this big match. Ted DiBiase, I believe, got slammed to the mat, and he missed his cue to kick out.
He got knocked out. He was pinned.
Yes. And after that, like, Ted DiBiase went to the back absolutely livid and just yelled at Vince McMahon and then yelled at the referee for screwing things up. And all I had to say to that is, yes, Ted DiBiase Jr., it was totally the ref's fault that you forgot to kick out at 2.
Yeah. Oh, Ted, man.
You're kind of
Oh, Ted, man. You know, he tried so hard, but yet no one cared.
Nobody even cared about him to begin with. It's a shame considering he's the son of the money $1 million man, Ted DiBiase.
He a third-generation wrestler.
Yeah. Well,
apparently charisma is not passed down through genetics.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it can be.
Yeah,
but to be fair,
Cody,
he did have the DiBiase posse once upon a time.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, the other one that I took away from the Botchamania panel, as far as like funny things go, they showed, of course, the Super Dragon chant.
Super Dragon.
Shut the fuck up. Like, the crowd was singing along with it.
Yeah.
Then there was, but my favorite one was, they showed one with a CZW main event match between Drew Gulak and some other...
Oh, dear Lord. Some other geek.
Some other geek I've never heard of, but you thought that people hijacking WWE events was bad? This was done on an indie show. Like, they were chanting names of people who weren't even in the match. Like, some of their chants included...
Whitney Houston! Whitney Houston!
Barry Horowitz!
Barry Horowitz!
Oh, wow.
SD Jones!
Wow.
SD Jones! SD Jones!
SD Jones!
And then there was one that was really funny. I think it was the one that they showed Cody. It was Drew Galloway and Johnny Gargano.
Oh yeah,
versus...
where the ref who was it that tapped out?
I don't remember.
Drew Galloway and Johnny Gargano. Oh crap! I think like one of the guys was Zack Sabre Jr.
No, it was somebody. But
yeah, it was an Evolve show. Johnny's opponent tapped in the Gargano escape. And the ref, like, instead of calling for the bell, he just put up his arms, like, making an X or something, and nobody could figure out what happened.
Yeah.
Well, you have one job, ref.
Yeah.
This ref sucks! This ref sucks! Yeah.
All you had to do was call the damn pin, CJ.
Yeah, and what other panels? I went to the roast of Bruce Pritchard.
Oh, that was great. That was great.
Yeah, I missed Eric Bischoff's one, and from how much they buried him the rest of the thing, I think I dodged a bullet.
Yeah. Some of the guys weren't funny, but the comedians were. Like, there were some really good ones. Like, modern stand-up comedy needs that edge, and I don't mean, just swinging for the cheap seats, making fun of Trump and his supporters. That's greasy kid stuff, yo. You gotta really swing. Like, they were burying Jeff Jarrett, and they were burying him hard.
You want to know my favorite joke? The only good angle that Jeff Jarrett has ever been in is Karen.
My favorite one was Jeff Jarrett is a wrestling terrorist throwing trash all around the ring. I'd compare him to Osama bin Laden, but Osama bin Laden had 2 successful impacts. Jeff Jarrett can't even get one.
Oh, God.
Wow.
They also
See, that's why we need to have a bit of a little edge into humor these days. Like I watched the Comedy Central roast of Bruce Willis, and it was just there was just no edge. There was no kick to it. It was just
there was one there that I really liked. It involved X-Pac. I forget which one it was because they had several comedians there. X-Pac showed up to an episode of Raw in blackface, which is the closest Vince McMahon has ever gotten to pushing a black wrestler.
Oh.
Ain't that the sad truth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was fun, and I also went to the story time with the Young Bucks where
that was Sunday.
Yeah, they
We're jumping around the timeline of here.
Yeah, I really. Oh yeah, I went to the 4-Star Summit podcast with Dave Meltzer, Wade Keller, Brian Alvarez, and Bruce Mitchell, and yeah, Dave is just as boring as he ever is to listen to. Brian was surprisingly quiet. And you think, because I actually think he has the most charisma out of all the guys there, but he was he was just standing there holding the mic and staring off into space like, oh, where's the nearest Snickers cake that I can get to or something.
Oh yeah, I mean, because every time I listen to him, when the chance I do, he has this animated personality.
I like Brian.
Yeah, and I also met him at a signing. I got him and R.D. Reynolds to sign my Death of WCW copy, and it was really cool. Brian's a real nice guy, and I hate to say this, but he also appears to be my height. I don't know. I could still probably take him in a shoot wrestling match. There is a height. There isn't a height limit in amateur wrestling. I'll tell you that right now.
The funniest thing is that Brian Alvarez wasn't even the shortest wrestler at that convention. Oh, we'll get to him when we get to All In.
Yes. We'll talk about that little vanilla, the most vanilla of all vanilla midgets, but we'll get to him to the show. And
I went to What Happened When live while Brandon was at the 4-Star Summit. Tony Schiavone is such a great person. Like, I mean that sincerely. I love listening to Tony Schiavone talk. Like, the way I compare Tony Schiavone, he's like that really cool uncle that you have who just comes to your house, sits on your couch, drinks beer, watches like some football or something, and just tells all sorts of these crazy stories from his job. I love it.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Mm-hmm. They also had some run-ins from Medusa, where, I just took this picture of Tony Schiavone with Medusa. Like, the look on his face is priceless, because Tony Schiavone is a married man. He's been married to Lois for, like, 30-some years now, and just to see Medusa trying to seduce him was absolutely adorable. And we also got to see his favorite riding position from Hog Wild 97.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
They also had a run-in from the Barbarian, who told the story about another guy who ran into the panel, Tommy Young. And Tommy Young told a hilarious story about how he was reffing a match between Flair and Steamboat, and he smelled this odd odor coming from Flair and Steamboat, and he looked at them and he said, "Okay, which one of you farted?" And Flair just looked up at him and said, "I crapped my pants." So he had to ref a whole match with Ric Flair's soiled tights. It was like walking through Chernobyl, he said. But you know, Ric Flair, he didn't run to the back once the match ended. He powdered out, did his stuff, then went to the back, and likely cried himself to sleep for the rest of the show.
And I also went to story time with the Young Bucks. It was basically the Buck family doing a reading of the children's book that they got. They have written. They have like little illustrations of Matt and Nick when they were little. And the best part is they actually have a villain in the book, and it's some person in a red hoodie. And you want to know who that person in the red hoodie's name was? Jimmy. Gee, I wonder who that could be a reference to. And that this guy Jimmy was telling these little young bucks, "You're not big enough to be in the wrestling business. You should go back playing with your little wrestling toys."
Did he carry a tennis racket?
I think I saw a racket in there somewhere.
I did not look at the book since I don't have time for that kind of thing. I'm too busy reading adult books like Golden Kamui and Captain Harlock.
Yes.
Oh, also, the What Happened When panel ended with a run-in from Scott Steiner.
Ha!
Oh God.
Like, the whole room marked out, because they played his music and everything. Because usually whenever, like, a panel runs over, they often signal saying, you know, hey, you got this much time left. That didn't happen, because they just hit Steiner's music, the whole room popped.
Yeah.
Sadly, they had to cancel my favorite, event, because, one of the guests couldn't make it. They were planning on doing an empty arena match retrospective with Jerry the King Lawler and Terry Funk. Unfortunately, Terry was not feeling good, so they had to cancel it.
Hopefully he gets better.
Terry Funk's a tough motherfucker. He could take anything.
Yeah, sad. The dude, comes back every time. You think he's done. You think he's over. Next, he comes back. I mean, how many times he's retired from pro wrestling only to come back? What, 60, 70 times?
He's
Every year.
He's the Hayao Miyazaki of professional wrestling. Just when you think he's made his final movie, he suddenly comes back.
Yeah, I would have gone with Brett Favre, but
Nah.
No, he didn't make it. The Vikings took him out. Yeah, so we got a lot of autographs. I got autographs from.
I'll get mine.
Nobody's gonna see it. But I'll tell you the collection of autographs I got while Nate waddles over to his bag of autographs. So the whole weekend I got autographs from Scott Steiner, Jeff Cobb, a.k.a. Matanza, who is also my height, which is astonishing. Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, Austin Aries, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky. SCU! Pentagon. Who the heck else? I had a lot of people.
I got signatures.
Holla Playa, Teddy Long, and Sergeant Slaughter, R.D. Reynolds and Brian Alvarez, and Awesome Kong.
All right.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The greatness
Nice.
that is Awesome Kong.
Yes.
nice.
I got 3 autographs for my brother. I got Hurricane, I got Teddy Long, and Ron Simmons, which I shall put on his desk.
And it just fell off.
Oh dear.
Good job.
Damn.
I also got a Disco Inferno, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and X-Pac.
Hey, yo.
Brandon got me a signature of the Young Bucks.
Jay Lethal.
Jay Lethal, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi.
Oh, yeah, Kenny and Coda got them too.
Scott Steiner,
Huh?
PCO,
PCO.
The Firing Squad, Buff Bagwell, Ray Phoenix, which was included with the prize pack, and Punishment Martinez.
Yeah, and you had a breakfast with Martinez.
Yes, I
did
went
you
to one
not?
of his eat and greets on Sunday. He was the mystery guest, actually, and it was a gamble that paid off because I could listen to Punishment Martinez talk about his time in the business for days. Like, he's incredibly smart, and he's got such a wonderful voice. Like, very deep, but very calming.
Yeah, he's I saw him in the match. He looks a lot like Roman Reigns a little bit.
One of the fans that I talked to about Punishment Martinez said he's what Baron Corbin should have been.
Wow.
Because he's big,
Yeah.
he's got the height, he's ripped, he's a great heel, he's charisma. Like, he is everything Baron Corbin isn't. Plus, he's actually...
And
What?
and also he's the current Ring of Honor television champion.
Yeah, he had the belt with him. I got a picture of me with it.
Nice.
I did, however, was that guy at his panel, because we were like one of the last people at the eat and greets that day, because there were multiple going on. Austin Aries, Leva Bates, and Joey Ryan were also in the general vicinity, and I was the first to get back. I had a soup and a sandwich. Soup du jour was broccoli cheddar. And I was talking with people about how, I'm from New Jersey, and I live just about a few miles away from New York. And I like New York State, but I can't stand New York City.
Yeah.
And I say this just as Punishment Martinez walks into the room. Because he's from New York City.
Dun dun dun!
Hey, I just said straight up, I was professional about it. I laughed with everyone else, and I said, Punishment, my sentiments on New York basically echo that of Mick Foley in his book. As much as I like New York, I honestly can't stand the city, especially Brooklyn, except for the pizza.
Damn.
You basically cut a heel promo on New York City.
It was a subtle one, but it was all in good stride. Punishment's a very nice guy and very smart, and I really hope that he gets a championship title shot in ROH, because he'd be a great world champion.
Yeah, and last but not least, you want to talk about ODB's
Oh yes,
big
the food at
buff nachos.
Oh god, yeah. An unannounced guest at that convention was ODB.
One dirty bitch, ODB.
She had her food truck with her, selling all sorts of barbecued, greasy goodness. I had a pulled pork sandwich and some of the best buffalo chicken nachos you will ever have.
Yeah, I got they're called the Buff Chick Nachos.
The Buff Nachos or something.
Basically, it's like it's a thing of nachos, but it's got this fat ass thing of cheese.
Ranch dressing.
Shredded creamy chicken, and whiskey, hot spicy whiskey sauce.
Oh, that was some good hot sauce. That was some good
Holy crap! I was a little about it. Like, if you go to the truck, you can see flies buzzing. Like, it legit looks like a stereotypical redneck straight out of the South truck. But then when you actually get the food, god damn, it's good.
Well, that's food trucks for you.
Yeah. And also, water in the truck was only like $1. Mm-hmm. When you compare it to like all the other places that we went to where water was like $4.
Hey, they do that. A
bargain!
They do that stuff at Otakon. There's like that one black guy who pushes like a cooler all around the convention center going, ice cold water, $1. $1. He makes a killing that weekend.
Yeah. Anything else?
Well, I went to Disco Inferno and Conan's Keeping It 100 Live. They had Hurricane with them, along with their host Jojo Feeney. Jojo Feeney is proof that all the douchebags in the United States all come from Philadelphia. except you, Farouk from BattleBots. You're cool.
Hey, to be fair, some call me Johnny's not an asshole, so...
Okay, that's true.
City of brotherly love.
Mm-hmm. And sports teams with horrible fan bases.
And there was also the after party, which was just a giant clusterfuck.
It was a meet and greet. They had music by Down Straight, the guys who did the Mrs. theme. And I'll say this: I will take a dozen shitty angry white boy bands over one critically acclaimed indie band any day of the week.
True.
Because Down Straight rock.
Yeah.
There are also some people there who are on All In. Jay Lethal was there. Leva Bates was there, although she wasn't on the show. Chucky T and Trent were there.
Yeah, we got pictures with Chucky T, Trent, and
Earl Hebner
giving you pretzels.
Earl Hebner's a real pisser.
He screwed Brett, and he beat James Storm in a race, and he also gave Nate pretzels.
And he flipped someone the bird in a picture.
Yeah.
Earl Hebner.
It's funny. The after party. There were two sections of the after party. One section had the bar, which is the VIP section, which we were in, and the other section had general admission. Too many people ended up going into were like in the VIP section, so they decided, okay, fuck this, and then started hovering over to the general. Section.
Well, it was also when they were dismantling the barrier.
Yeah,
that's when it was happening. So. It was kind of like they were winding things down, so they just said fuck it.
Yeah. Besides, the VIP section, aside from maybe like a few wrestlers here and there, I think it just the only difference between the two was that it had the bar, and they also had a bunch of.
Oh, so Cesaro and the Sheamus were there?
Yeah. Oh, I wish.
We wish.
Oh.
Yeah, and they also had like tables with fruit chews and pretzels on them, and
yeah.
I downed myself with those fruit chews.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
like I don't drink liquor, so the only thing I can like get addicted to is like those little. They're not like Starburst, but they're not like
Now or Laters.
Now or Laters, that's what they're called. Yeah, but Aside from that, and aside from the whole clutter, I still had fun at Starrcast. It was still a fun experience, meeting all the wrestlers and everything.
One last thing that I went to the Bunny Ears podcast with Macaulay Culkin and Matt Cohen, and Cody was on the panel, and I walked in as they were talking about amusement parks, and this warmed my heart because Cody Rhodes is an admitted fan of Defunct Land,
Yay!
my favorite YouTube channel.
Everybody is these days. Mm-hmm. Like I like his Defunct Land episode on Action Park, which is now known as Mountain Creek, which is like 20 minutes away from where I live. I thought that was cool. He's done some videos on various roller coasters that no longer exist. There was one on Alton Towers. That ride, what was the ride called? The Blaggle.
Yes,
the Blaggle at Alton Towers.
And and he's also done 2 episodes with Defunct Land TV. He did Bear in the Big Blue House and Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah, those are really good.
Mm-hmm. Kenny Omega did a run-in on the panel, and they mostly just talked about movies and gaming.
So because whenever I look at Kenny Omega or Cody with the blonde hair he has now, he looks like what Macaulay Culkin should look like.
Oh,
if
God!
He didn't if Macaulay Culkin didn't get into like drugs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like all well kept, nice hair, all that other stuff. But yeah, it was fun. I had a lot of time, a really good time. It was my first time being in Illinois, and hey, if they ever decide to have another robot event out there, hey, I'd be able to fly out there. And I will say this though. It's still a better convention than DashCon and TanaCon.
Well, then again, at least this thing in a convention actually happened. Universal Fan Con. Sorry, I just got something in my throat.
Yep. So
it wasn't without its problems though. Confusion, traffic, scheduling. The schedule was constantly getting changed around.
You know what they also should have had? They should have had buses for to go to and from the convention and to the event, because we paid up the ass for Ubers.
Well, going home we did.
Yeah, well,
especially since everyone was taking Ubers to there.
Well, yeah, but with some fixing ups, and I don't know. I'd love to see an all-in too.
I'd like to see Conrad try something like this again, but he just needs somebody to help him do a better job organizing it. But he's reports say he's all out, and honestly, as much as I'd like to see him try again, I'm at least happy that he's learned his lesson.
Yeah. This was a little experiment, and it had problems, but overall I think it was a success.
It was, indeed.
So that covers the Starrcade portion. We're going to go on to the all-in portion of the review now.
Well, we're all in then.
We're all in!
All right.
Indeed, all in.
All in!
Right, so let us get into the entire show. And, well, let me tell you something. The first thing I saw was the whole, the pre-show, which I was like, this is the first time I actually shot out the pre-show for any wrestling, because honestly, I'm like, pre-show, doesn't matter. But this is, I'm like, hey, this does have some effect, this will have like a match at the Over Budget Battle Royal does connect to the main show. So I'm like, hey, let me sit back and watch that.
Well, we're gonna jump. We're jumping ahead a little bit.
Yeah, we'll start. We'll start with the event. So, the storyline behind All In. Apparently, Cody, or was it the Bucks, or
Cody and the Bucks? Cody
and the Bucks got into a little bit of a Twitter war with somebody.
With Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, they said, "Oh, you think you can do so much better than the WWE? Then why don't you start your own event?"
You forgot to throw in a well, you know.
So, next thing you know, you have yourself your biggest well, next thing you know, you have an event that is booked as the biggest independent wrestling show ever. All In.
Yes. Yeah, this is the biggest one since in WCW.
Yes.
Since this is the first notable event, not WWE or WCW, professional wrestling event to sell 10,000 tickets since 1993.
Yeah, the attendance was 10,411, and it sold out in just under a half hour.
I was scared for a second that, since rumor and innuendo said that a lot of the people who bought those tickets were scalpers, and that maybe it was a false claim. But as we entered that arena and we saw the mass of black T-shirts, it was the blackest event I've ever been to, and that is not being racist. It was like going to a black mass. Let's just put it that way, with all the Bullet Club T-shirts. I must be the only wrestling fan on earth without a Bullet Club T-shirt.
I bought like 4 of them.
I don't have one either, but
okay, Jeff.
Yeah.
So
me neither. I don't have one either. All I have is the Matt Hardy ones.
I have a Brother Nero T-shirt, a Jushin Liger T-shirt. I got a Bruiser Brody shirt and an Lij shirt. So I'm good.
Yep. So the seating, like when we were going in, we were thinking, oh, cool, they got us tickets to, they're probably going to be like in the nosebleed seats. Hell no. Front row, ringside.
Oh, yes. Yes.
If you watched
If
you watched the show and saw a guy in a Bruiser Brody shirt, white Bruiser Brody shirt, and a Young Bucks T-shirt, that was us.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw y'all on the Fight TV app, by the way, which I have to say, without some issues a bit, I like it. I really did like the Fight TV app.
Yeah.
But overall, though, everything else looked very good. The stage was really good.
Oh my god, it looked like it looked professional.
It looked like a WWE show.
And they had pyro.
Yes. I love the fact they said that they have pyro. They had they had I think who was they actually soak machines. They had who was that? They rode it. God dang it, I forgot.
It was Animal.
World
War Animal. And then they gave free merch to the crowd. I'm like, well, that's one way to get the crowd.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, they did
and
that.
Also, they had their own personal titles, all in championships. I'm like, wow, they really.
Yeah, wow. I saw a few people with little championships that said "All In" on the front or Chicago Champion or something like that. It was really cool.
We saw one guy that had the belt from Lucha Underground.
Yeah, it was the Gift of the Gods Championship. You know, that big mammoth thing that has like 9 medallions stuck into it? That was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. We actually saw him at FYE the day after.
Yeah.
Small world. Nice. In a arena filled with 10,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
But we had good seats. We had a security guard right next to us
from Atlas Security, just to give the wrestling event that stink of authenticity.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was a nice guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, it's great to actually be front row. It's a fun experience. Even if the show is not really, it's a great experience to be that close, man. It's because I only did it once. It was for I believe for Capital Punishment. Oh. I was there. In fact, that's sharing my little video set. That's actually from that show. So yeah, it's like, did you take the seats, the chairs back with you?
No, no, they were like all connected.
Yeah, they weren't those type of chairs.
Mm.
Oh man, that but you know what? Look, because I did see y'all though. You look like you were having fun.
Yeah, we were.
Mm-hmm. I turned off my phone because I wanted to watch the matches.
Yeah, there was one point I actually left right when the Hangman Page
Joey Janela
match started, because I don't know, I've never been I wasn't expecting much going into the match, but I heard a lot of going on out there, and I'm thinking, it must be a really good match. So I came back, and it was still going on. And the next thing you know, I'm sitting down, and I see a giant Cracker Barrel at ringside. Because Cracker Barrel sponsors the event.
We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, so we'll get on to the card then. So, All In, September 1st, 2018, Sears Center, Hoffman Estates, Illinois. The first match is from the pre-show. What do they call it? Zero
hour.
It's SoCal Uncensored. Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky versus the Briscoe brothers, Jay and Mark.
For those who do not watch Ring of Honor Being the Elite, SCU is a 3-man tag team consisting of former Bad Influence members Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian. Daniels, by the way, is not from SoCal. He's from Michigan. And Scorpio Sky.
Yeah, and if you watch them on the Being the Elite show, the gimmick is that they're a big fan of SCU, and they hate any other town that they come in. In fact, Scorpio Sky's catchphrase is, "This is the worst town I've ever been in." So you know these guys are full-fledged heels. Mm-hmm. And then they come into this match, they're baby faces.
I get the feeling...
They wrestled. They went up against the Briscoes. The Briscoes were full-fledged heels in this match. And
by the way, they are the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions.
Yeah,
the Briscoes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they came with their belts.
Yeah.
I gotta say, the Briscoes have some of the weirdest entrance music I've ever heard.
Weirdest entrance music, and they legit look like they came straight out of a dumpster. Just the worst face paint, the worst hairdos.
Well, they come from Delaware, so.
Delaware! Oh God!
They look like methed out Enzo Amores.
Oh God!
Oh, yes.
Oh God!
But with more talent.
Goth Enzo.
Fair enough.
Wait, no. Well, if they're from Delaware, then they must eat a lot of watermelon, because that's where a lot of your watermelons come from, Delaware.
Yeah. So this was a really fun match. They started out. They got the heat on Scorpio Sky first. The Briscoes just beating the hell out of him. Eventually, Scorpio got the hot tag to Kaz, and Kaz ran wild a bit. Mm-hmm. They did a little bit of wrestling back and forth, and this was a weird finish. How do you describe this finish?
Fest. Well, first of all, I just want to say there was a really cool spot in the match, and I don't mean like a big move, but was it Kaz or Scorpio? He did a double pin spot on the Briscoes.
Oh, that was really funny.
Yeah,
that
Kaz
was great.
did it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks sick. It looked absolutely sick.
Yeah, I really hope someone in WWE sees that and say, "Hey, let's do this for a finish," because that is a great. It just looks so cool.
Yeah, the Briscoes went for a Doomsday Device, and then Kaz managed to grab onto Mark and get a power slam on him for the pin. And from where we were sitting, it was like, because I think one of the Briscoes was in the way, so I really couldn't figure out what was going on. But the next thing you know, Kaz is on top and he gets the pin. Mm-hmm. It was weird, but it was a fun match. I really enjoyed watching it.
Also, we got our first use of being thrown into the barricades and that knocked over someone's popcorn.
I wonder if that popcorn was a plant.
Bother your popcorn.
Yeah, there was a part, I think it was Trent or somebody went flying right into the barricade. I almost thought he was going to go crashing right into us, but he managed to stop himself.
Well, the barrier was a lot more secure in that part. Like, I was flinching every time someone was heading towards the barrier.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. Kaz and Sky get the win. Everyone's happy, and so we move on to the Battle Royale, and the winner...
The best
Battle Royal... Or as they call it, the over-budget Battle Royal to determine the number one contender to the ROH Championship.
And I'm going to list off all the entrants. Moose, Brandon Cutler, Trent Beretta, Chucky T, Rocky Romero, Cheeseburger, Hurricane Helms, Ethan Page, Tommy Dreamer, Jimmy Jacobs, Punishment Martinez, Austin Gunn, Billy Gunn, Marco Stunt, Brian Cage, Jordan Grace, Colt Cabana, Bully Ray, and El Hijo de Gringo, I think his name was.
Oh yes, my gosh! And what did he do?
The legendary luchador.
Oh yes, and the best part of that match is that he just was powerbombed by Bully Ray into a table and took a long nap for the match. That's it.
A+ performance by him right there.
Mm-hmm. So before we continue, I just want to ask, who the hell is Marco Stunt?
He's the most vanilla midget that has ever been conceived.
He's 11. He looks like he's 11 years old, but he's 22.
He's like that one kid Power Ranger.
Justin.
I want to hang with the big boy. Yeah, Justin. I want to hang with the big boys.
Like, apparently he was discovered by Joey Janela, and I think that says all you need to know.
Yeah, I've seen some clips of him, and the guy has some moves.
But he just doesn't have the size, man.
He may as well be participating in the Beetleweight division.
He's pro wrestling's Andy Milonakis.
Oh God!
Except I think he's aged better.
Oh God!
And by the way, he's 21, and I'm
21, 22.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I've seen 22-year-olds his size.
Yeah, see, I was like, what the heck was this dude? I like his is like I honestly thought his hair. The reason why he weighs so like that's most of his weight is his his big old hair. That's most of his weight right there.
Yeah.
It's like did Jack White shrink in the wash or something?
He looks like someone from the Howard Stern show.
Yeah, he looks like Eric the Midget 2.0. No. But rest in peace, Eric. But this was like when it first started, it's like the guys all start come out, and then the next thing you know, everybody's just fighting to the outside, and there's only like 2 people in the ring.
What is this, the reverse battle royal all over again?
Oh, God. But then everybody started getting in, and everybody got a chance to do something in this match.
This is probably my... I can't decide whether this is my second or third favorite match of the night, because...
For me, it's the third.
The over-budget Battle Royal rewrote the book on how you make a Battle Royal. It was the right number of participants. It didn't feel crowded. Everybody had a chance to show off why they're great. There were high spots, hope spots. Tommy Dreamer got to do some hardcore stuff. Bully Ray showcased his authority. Hurricane got to be the hero. Chucky T and Trent were the jobbers in distress.
I was actually rooting for Trent in this match.
Me too.
And I have no idea why.
And guess what? Moose was the first one eliminated because no one likes him.
And guess who eliminated him?
Mark Strutt.
Mark Strutt, yeah.
And like I said this on Twitter, and I'll say this him being eliminated, Moose. I'm like, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Well, I didn't think he was winning. Oh, and of course, Colt Cabana. He got to be the hometown hero.
Oh yeah.
Even though he didn't win.
Hey, Colt Cabana, how you doing?
As a little side note, apparently people were booing CM Punk at this convention whenever his name was brought up.
Oh. Well, you know what? No, but after that, now that he's trying to sue Colt now, nobody's going to be chanting him now. But this probably means people are going to be chanting Colt Cabana, but you know what? So what? I think I like Colt Cabana has a nice ring to it.
Mm-hmm.
Colt Cabana. That's fit.
No, it just sounds like a restaurant actually.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's taken from Copacabana by Barry Manilow.
Yeah.
And Colt 45, so you know.
Brian Cage was also in there. Believe it or not, Brian Cage was my pick to win this thing.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
I love Brian Cage.
Yeah, he's a tank.
Yes, he's a tank. He is legit. He can do these luchador moves. I'm like, my goodness. And by the way, he is your Impact X Division champion.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, this dude. I'm like, they need to put him up in the big joint.
Yeah, he's legit.
And guess who eliminated him?
Jordan Grace.
The one female in this match.
And she looked pretty good.
Yeah,
she looks thick. Extra thick.
Yeah, but she was tossing dudes around. She was smacking dudes up. I'm telling you.
And she's only 22.
22.
She'll be great. I'd love to see her in Impact or in Women of Honor.
Anywhere but WWE. I'll tell you that right now.
As I said, I have more respect for these guys who don't go to WWE than the ones that do.
Besides, I think she might be a little too thick. If she go into WWE, she might be a little too thick for him.
Well, she could definitely lift me up and toss me around the ring, and I don't mean that sexually. I am legitimately afraid of pissing her off because I think she's going to kick my ass.
So,
most certainly.
So it came down to Bubba Ray Dudley, Colt Cabana, Jordan Grace, and who the hell was the fourth one? Do you remember?
I do not.
It wasn't Billy Gunn. No, he was eliminated. Wasn't Austin Gunn? No. Is it Trent Beretta? No.
Both Chucky T and Trent were
eliminated.
Yeah, were eliminated simultaneously.
Oh yeah. It was someone else. But meanwhile,
it was Cage, Grace, Colt, and Bully.
Yeah,
Ray.
it was Brian Cage, and then that's when Jaden eliminated Cage, and then Bully Ray.
He eliminated Colt. He was the last one standing in the ring celebrating, and then from out of nowhere, The masked
luchador
man comes out and reveals himself. Swerve. It's Flip Gordon.
Dun, dun, dun. Who had a nice nap.
Yeah.
That's what it is. He had a nice nap. That's what it is.
Well, you have to rest for your big match against Jay Lethal, you understand.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Now, for those of you who don't follow Being the Elite and have no idea who Flip Gordon is, he's a small guy. He does a lot of flips, aka Flip Gordon.
Well, he is a former, I don't know if he's former or current, but he is in the Army Reserves.
Oh, nice. But he appeared on Being the Elite, and his gimmick was that he would shake hands with the Young Bucks, and then usually Matt would go like, "Where do you think you're going?" And then like they'd beat the hell out of him, and Marty would break his fingers. They basically he was basically the Bullet Club's punching bag.
Oh, by the way, he was in the Army National Guard and worked as a combat engineer with a specialization in explosive training.
Nice.
So yeah, you got a guy with some credentials there.
Yeah. But the gimmick was that he was trying to find a way to get into All In, but they wouldn't book him into All In. They wouldn't give him a match or anything. So what does Flip decide to do? He dresses up as El Luchador, who's
El Chico de Luchador.
El Chico de Luchador, who's another character they got going on in the show. And he snuck into there, and then when the time was right, he wakes up from his 2-hour nap, gets up into the ring, unmasks himself to reveal that it is, in fact, Flip Gordon, and flips that big fat ass over the rope to win the Battle Royal and go on to face Jay Lethal later on in the show.
I don't think Brian Alvarez is wrong when he says that this is the best traditional Battle Royal he's ever seen.
It's the best one I've seen.
Oh yeah, I
It's the best
saw
one
some
I've
good.
seen in years.
It's good, but there was some bit of sloppiness.
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
a little bit, but I admit it was very fun to watch, and
It was
and again, and I like the ending though, Flip Gordon, who I never seen perform.
I saw him.
actually.
I saw him at my first ever indie show at Northeast Wrestling in New York.
I've seen him. I've seen him perform in several New Japan matches, which and he's got the stuff. He's definitely got the physical stuff down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that pretty much does it for the pre-show 0 hour. So we'll go on to the main card, and this opening match, this was a last-second match that they put in. It's Matt Cross versus MJF.
Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Matt Cross is Son of Havoc, who is in Lucha Underground. I don't follow him much, so I honestly don't really have
by
much
the
to say
way,
about
funny
it.
enough, he was cast as in the 5th season WWE Tough Enough,
Ooh, yes, yeah.
and he has a match for successful with the winner of who won that. The 5th version of Tough Enough, by the way.
I don't know. Nobody won because nobody ever got to be on the actual show. In
Andy
the end.
Levine. Oh yeah,
Who?
that dude.
Yeah, guy who showed up and then left the company shortly after. Tough Enough is a waste of time, and I still question why people still consider entering it.
They ought to do. They should instead take a page from Lance Storm's World of Hurt and just show what life is like inside the WWE Training Center.
So this MJF guy, I honestly don't know anything about him. All I know is he has the Meme Me song from Nostalgia Critic's It review as his entrance music, and apparently he's the heel in this match. And that's
Yeah, basically what I know about MJF is that he is like the super elite douchebag heel. He works mostly like CZW, that sort of thing.
Or as I call him, not the Miz.
Or as
So we have
MJF.
Isn't not the Miz EC3?
If you took part of the Miz and part of EC3, you'd get MJF.
yeah.
But he was good. He was a good heel though. Like even at the after party, he was still doing heelish stuff.
I didn't really. Unfortunately, I didn't really care that much for the match because
Yeah.
number one, it was a last-second. It was a last-minute match on the card, and
It was a curtain jerk.
it was a curtain jerker. And
I thought it was good for what it was.
Yeah.
It was good for what it was.
though honestly, I think if you didn't have this match, they probably would have given the Bucks so much more time in the main event. 'cause-
I'm gonna say this right now. Even though it was a decent match, I would have cut this match out
Yeah.
altogether.
It
I
felt
would've
like,
cut
Probably could have been on the pre-show.
Heck, I wouldn't have. I would have put Matt Cross and MGF into the. If they want to be a part of All In, I would have said, "Hey, you're gonna be in the discount battle royal."
Yeah, there you go.
That would have been better. And honestly, it would have been better. You would have more time for, say, example, with a women's match, which was great. We'll get into that later. But also get more into, say, the main event, which we'll get to. I think that would have been so much better if we would have cut that off. Again. But that's just my thing. But decent match. Matt Cross wins. So
yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll probably give it a 6.
Yeah, I'll give it. If we're gonna use the Meltzer rating here, I'll give it 2 stars.
2 stars.
No half or quarters, just whole stars.
How about you, Duke?
Give it like a 5 out of 10.
All right, and Jeff?
I'd say about like 6 out of 10.
All right, sounds about right.
It was good.
They had interviews with Brutus Magnus or
Aldis
Nick
got
Aldis.
some serious heat.
I think next to Bubba Ray, he was the biggest heel of the night.
Well, it reminded me, if you want to go to like a sports thing, it's reminded me how see like when George Foreman came in like in Africa taking on Muhammad Ali, that type of environment. Like, it doesn't matter how good the guy is, how hard. It's just like you are not going to. You're facing the dude who did this all in the show, who put all this stuff up there. You're not going to be liked. You're not going to. So it's not.
So, Christopher Daniels versus Stephen Amell,
of Arrow fame.
Of Arrow fame. So, the story behind this is Daniels...
Vigilante Club, by the way, who is connected to Bullet Club, which at this point, I say this, the Bullet Club has more members than the NWO.
I wouldn't go that far.
Amell actually came out to the original Bullet Club theme, which was really cool. So, the story behind this on Being the Elite... I think Daniels appeared on the Arrow TV show, didn't he?
I don't know if he did or not.
No, it's Cody.
It was Cody.
Cody. Yeah, Cody.
And I guess Daniels got a little jealous, and he was pissed off at Amell. He was going to challenge him at All In, and so that's how this match came to be. Jerry Lynn was the guest ref. I actually didn't recognize Jerry Lynn because
he cut all his hair. He looks like Jeff Jarrett but without the facial hair.
So, yeah, well, I saw him at the desk in the meet and greet vendor section at the Starrcast, and he just looked like a guy. A guy. But the match. Stephen Amell's only had like what 3 matches up to this point.
3 matches. This is his third.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and I remember his first match. He actually had he was in a feud with, believe it of all people,
Cody.
Stardust, Cody.
Yeah.
And he teamed up with Neville to go up against Stardust, and I forget who it was.
It was Wade Barrett.
King Bear. And guess what? None of them all are in the WWE anymore.
I was expecting Neville to appear at All In, but
yeah, that would have been nice. It would have been nice little connecting and such.
Yeah, but now, so this match, I will say this, like, Stephen Amell, when I saw him in WWE, he was all right. He pulled off some pretty fresh moves here and there. He actually performed better than he honestly should have, but he was good. So, but a part of me was thinking, I want to see this guy do some more matches. So, he has this match against Christopher Daniels, who, Christopher Daniels is 47. The man has not lost a single step.
Oh no.
He was moving around like he's 30. It was some good stuff.
I need to know what kind
This is the man I am like, you know what, this dude is like the like he's just that good. He just comes in. I don't want to say he's like funny enough the referee was Jerry Lynn, and I'm like, he reminds me of that, like a dude who just continues to get better and better at age and such,
Minoru Suzuki is one that comes to mind. That guy just turned 50.
Yeah, but Amell actually did quite a few moves here. He actually did the deal and hit a Falcon Arrow, which was really cool, and all kinds of stuff. There was a table spot that they set up, and Amell tried to send Daniels through the table, but Daniels got out of the way, and Amell just crashed and burned right through this table.
It looked awesome.
Yeah, and it's like they got the really cheap tables that you just crash through, and it's like it looked like a murder scene how he just went Like the table just splintered.
Wow.
And
That would be wouldn't be the worst table spot of the night. Oh, we'll get to that.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, but so eventually both guys ended up outside, and Jerry Lynn starts making the count, and it's like, please don't let this go to a double count out. But you know what? Jerry Lynn, he knows what's good. He wants this match to continue, so he rolls both guys back into the ring. Amel flipped off Daniels, and then Daniels tried to get the Angel Wings in, but he countered. And then Daniels hit a BME and got the win on Stephen Amell.
Well, let's also not forget, I believe it was was it Amell who put his hands on Jerry Lynn?
No, it was Daniels.
Daniels put his hands on Jerry Lynn, and Lynn just wasn't having any of it. He tore off his ref outfit, revealing his shirt underneath.
Oh, this could be a feud. Jerry Lynn versus Christopher Daniels, 2 former Ring of Honor champions. Go ahead and maybe.
Oh man, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Lynn still wrestle?
Well, you never know. Hey, he still's in shape, so why not?
Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff. Amel also hit a coast-to-coast drop kick, which looked really cool.
I know there was one point where people were going up and saying, "Oh no, you can't make that! You can't make that!"
Yeah, he did.
Not only that, it was just like a springboard coast to coast too, which could not have been easy.
No, I thought it was a solid match. There was a few points where it was sloppy, but I still thought it was a great match. Amel looked really good. Daniels looked really good. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, I guess I'll give it a 7. Why not?
I give it a 6. Actually, it was good. I think there was some, but the sloppiness. And I said this, and I said if Stephen Amell wants to go into wrestling, I think he could. Hey, I think Arrow is ending after this year, so I'm like, hey, he seems like to like it, so I'm like, hey, why not?
Yeah.
Wrestling is theater, after all.
Yep, and the guy, he does some of his own stunts. He's got the body for it, so yeah, go. I'm all up for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Stephen Amell definitely has the aptitude for pro wrestling. He has like a kind of a natural raw talent. He just would need like he'd need a couple more years of some really good fine tuning, and he has. Cody and the Bucks and everybody, he has like the best teachers to help him hone his craft. So yeah, if he decided to go into pro wrestling full time, he would be terrific at it. I have no doubt about that. While it's clear Daniels carried the match and made Steven look as good as he did, Steven, it was no small feat of Steven to look as good as he did as well. Yeah, the sloppiness you can attribute to Steven's inexperience, but that's just how it happens. Overall, I'd say this match was really solid, really good. Give it about a 3 stars, 7 out of 10.
All right.
Yeah, I'll give it 3 stars too.
So that covers that. So we move on to the women's 4-way. Tessa Blanchard, Madison Rayne, Britt Baker, and Chelsea Green.
Charles?
I said this was going to steal. I said in my podcast, cheap plug, that this was going to steal the show, and I was right. I was like, this is going to really want to shock people, and let me tell you, this was really good. I said, people discount Madison Rayne and stuff, but she handled herself very well here. Mm-hmm. So it's Chelsea Green, Britt Baker. I know about Chelsea. I know about all 3, but Britt Baker showed me something really good, and such.
Isn't her is her gimmick is that she's a dentist?
She actually is a dentist.
So yeah, she's I wonder if she knows
a dentist or whatever.
I wonder if she knows
a dentist. Yeah.
I wonder if she knows Dr. Isaac Yankum.
Maybe that was her teacher.
That would be. Oh my gosh, she is a dentist. A wrestler and a dentist. That is truly, you want to talk about a villainous character.
Oh, yeah.
Her,
yes. She actually comes in and, I'm a dentist. And then only that, the most villainous thing she could do, she hands you the bill. Actually,
I was thinking more like she has like some like fake nitrous oxide. Then, like, during a match, she cheats by nitrous oxiding somebody, like, just knocking them out.
or injects, or, bring out the drill.
Oh, yeah, the drill.
Quite. So this match, It was I thought it was kind of sloppy a little bit, especially at the finish where I honestly have no idea what happened at the finish.
It looked like the finish. It looks like they botched the finish.
Tessa Blanchard had the pin. Who does she have the pin on?
Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green. And I guess the other two girls were trying to run in to stop the count, but the count, they still counted 3 anyway. And then the bell kind of rang. It looked kind of a mess.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but overall, I think the match was great.
I thought it was pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You can tell that they're a lot more coordinated than some of the female wrestlers in WWE.
Yes.
Not naming any names.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say though, I like Chelsea Green's gimmick too. The little What?
I was gonna say she was basically like a Two-Face, pretty much.
Yeah. She's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
She had some kind of makeup nonsense all over.
Yeah, like smeared makeup.
Yeah, it's kind of
all because of I asked, she was like, "Where's she?" Well, she was an Impact wrestler. Oh, there it is. Like she was in TNA. There it is. You don't need to do anything else. Just say she was in TNA. Like no wonder she all messed up.
Especially Madison Rayne, who's been in TNA for God knows how long. She was pretty bad when she started out, and she's been there almost a decade. And she's
and
sloppy.
she's okay. I think, and she's 32, by the way.
She's what?
32.
32.
Yes.
Yeah, not bad. She didn't look that bad.
And Chelsea Green is actually the girlfriend of Zack Ryder.
Yeah, I was about to say we got several chants of woo during the match.
And she did the woo kick, which was really funny. Mm-hmm. But sloppiness aside, I thought this match was all right. Mm-hmm. So I'll give it I'll give it an 8. Why not?
Give it I'll give it 3.5 stars. I would give it 4, but I think the botched finish kind of hurt it.
Yeah. How about you, Duke?
I would give this match, and I said, even though there was some sloppiness there, I think overall the package of the match was very good. Everyone did pretty much a really good job. And if it wasn't for the botchiness, I would give this like a 9 or a 10. But the botch ending, it was. But I would give this a straight up 8. It was a great match. It could have been a very good match, but it could have been even greater if it didn't have that type of ending.
How about you, Jeff?
Pretty much like everybody else has said, this was a fantastic match. Ending aside, Tessa Blanchard really showed some really impressed the fuck out of me.
Oh yeah, she is.
Like
she
bench,
was.
Bench pressing Madison Rayne over the top rope, just awesome. Really all of them showed some really terrific spots. I'd say this gets about like a 3. 3 out of 10. 3 out of 5.
3 out of 10.
Whoa.
3 out of 5. 3 out of 5. Damn it.
But Tessa Blanchard, who I've been watching Impact Wrestling, she is very talented, and she's really good, and the Impact Knockout Champion. Even though she did lose to Madison Rayne not once but twice earlier in the year. So, but then again, Madison Rayne fought against lost and about her title match, and then got buried alive, and then she's here. So wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we're now in the midway point through the show. So now it's time for the championship match.
What?
Yeah. NWA World Heavyweight Championship match between Nick Aldis and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I was curious as to why they put this in the middle of the show, but after listening to Punishment Martinez talking about the behind-the-scenes stuff at All In, I understand why. Because you needed the length of time for this match. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been effective.
As memorable or as impactful as it. Because let me tell you, this match was, it was this big fight feel to it. And that's what I missed about what wrestling used to. When you have important championship matches, it felt like, man, I like seeing that stuff. Wrestlers coming out, like going to the position and just sitting there, like, ready to go, getting people behind them like that. To me, I'm like, this showed me right here. This champ, even though it was like the middle matchup, this showed me this match, this championship, the NWA title, the 10 pounds of gold. The presentation felt it was much more important and relevant to any championship in WWE in the past like 10, 15 years. I I'm like, this, when I think of championship, I'm like, this is what it's supposed to be. This is what it's supposed to be.
I loved the opening shots of Cody Cody and Nick Aldis walking through the backstage area with the posse surrounding them. Like,
yes.
It's something you don't see in wrestling anymore.
Yeah, like Cody had Brandy Rhodes, who was wearing a glorious sparkly outfit.
See-through.
Yeah, you had DDP, you had Tommy Dreamer, and you had Pharaoh.
Glacier.
Yes. And Magnus had Jeff Jarrett, Sean Daivari, Tim Storm, and, of all people, Sam Shaw.
Well,
I was unaware Sam Shaw still had a career. The last time I saw this guy, he was stalking
Christy
Hemme in TNA.
He
was.
Yes. Well, to be fair, he came back. GFW's defeat Crimson to win the inaugural TNT champion, and then pretty much faded. And he lost the title to Crazy Steve.
The end.
According to Wikipedia.
Yeah.
But who cares about GFW?
No. So this match, good that they got a little jostling back and forth, and if there is one disadvantage of being so close to the ring, is that sometimes you can see where punches are landing and aren't landing. Like, there was a point where Cody kicks Magnus in the face. Magnus sells, but the kick doesn't even come anywhere near his face.
Oh, I saw that too.
Yeah,
Holy crap.
It showed on the broadcast too. That camera angle was not kind.
No.
By the way, how was the commentary? Because we did not buy the pay-per-view.
You were there, so it was actually good. I didn't want to rip my ears off, which is every time I watch WWE stuff, because that's average what it is, pretty much is. You just sit there, you're like, shut up, Cole. Shut up, coach. No one cares about your words of the day or night or anything else. Stop. Just shut up and let these things happen.
And
Shut up too, Cody Graves. You're trying to be hipster tattooed ass. Shut up.
Who's by the way? Who was his who's the masked wrestler doing commentary?
That is Excalibur. He runs PWG, and he is a terrific commentator.
Oh yes, he is on point. And hey, you know what? Again, just like the diversity of the commentating cast here was very good. The guest commentators, when they brought them in, were actually pretty good. The women commentators were actually pretty good.
Dalton Castle was on commentary.
Oh yes, he was there too.
Fun fact: we ate at this restaurant called Pixels.
No, it's 257.
257
Pixels, pints, and plates.
Nate sat in this big ass chair, and it was that looked like a throne. And Dalton Castle sat in that same chair the day before. It was Nate was starstruck.
Mm-hmm.
So this match, they had a little back and forth. The turning point came when Magnus was out on the floor. Cody goes in to try and hit a double axe slam on him. When Magnus just punches Cody right in the face, and he goes down, and he's down for a long time.
Try to do that with Ray Barrett, man. Just like, boom!
Yeah. And then they make it look like, oh, this match is going to end early, and Cody's really hurt.
Yeah.
Then for what, I don't know what the heck happened, but Daivari ends up running right into the ring.
Yeah.
And then
it was DDP.
And then DDP comes out and gives him the diamond cutter.
Yeah.
DDP came out first.
He came out to give Cody support, or rather to tell him, okay, Cody, now's your cue to blade.
Yeah, that whole segment was built just so Cody could go under the table and gig for a really long time.
And it
showed.
Yeah,
I got people on Twitter will like say, "Oh crap, like is this part of the show?" There were people questioning. I'm like,
it's part of the show.
I'm like, nah, man, this is good. I'm like, Cody's good.
And I saw Cody's face. I saw Cody's face at the signing, and his forehead was like cut to shit. You could see the blade marks right in the top. Yeah, but
if you're gonna distract 10,000 people, in an entire universe of people, have Diamond Dallas Page hit a diamond cutter.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then bam, and then took out Sean Daivari, who I'm like, okay, well that was just like, well, that's a good way to get a paycheck. But then the match continued on, and you saw again. Cody did the really good face and peril. Nick Aldis again. I think he started to embrace the heel thing a bit more. And
he's been a heel for most of his career.
Yeah, even though he builds himself as a gentleman.
But yeah, It was really it was again the presentation, the story being told, all this type of stuff. It just really felt like, this match was important. The match itself, well, if you take that away, is, well, pretty decent.
I thought,
But,
I consider it the third best match of the show, I think.
I'd say fourth.
I'd say it was fourth.
Yeah.
Fourth. But yeah. There were other matches that were better than this, and later on we will see that stuff there. But I just sat there and I'm like, man, the presentation alone could put this, I was like, they really care. You felt for these characters. You felt like Nick Aldis, you felt like he had to win because it just like he was really the underdog. He is like, this will prove him that he is not just this fly-by-night champion. He's like, he is legitimate. He is great. And that's the thing. Cody just had pressure on him because this is a big event, all in, all this stuff. He has a chance to win a championship that his father, Dusty Rhodes, held once upon a time. The story there was really good, and see how desperate of it. Heck, Brandy Rhodes got into it.
Yeah,
Brandy Rhodes.
She took a splash to protect Cody right in the middle there.
That was an excellent bit of storytelling.
That's
Cody being a great.
That's true love right there. That's true love.
Yeah, and it really helps because not only do you have to have like good wrestling moves and make it look like a great spectacle, you got to have story behind it, and the story is Cody really wants to win the championship that his dad held many years ago. He wants to do it. He wants to put on a good show for the fans because this event, like he and the Bucks made this event, and they want this to be a really damn good event.
It was going to be his night, and he was going to do whatever it took to win it.
Yes, and the finish it was kind of weird. Like Cody hit the crossroads, but Aldis kicked out, and so Aldis just tried a sunset flip, but Rhodes just sat down, and there was the pin. So yeah, kind of
a way to honestly say both guys' finishers didn't work, but it just it's a nice definitive ending, but not really, because hey, he got, like, you could just say, you caught me, you gotta do a rematch down the line to see what will be the true test for Cody, if you want to, that sort of thing. And I am actually, the part of the phrase, we're gonna use it a lot. Use it a lot in this podcast. I'll probably use it in mine. I'm all in on the rematch of Cody Rhodes versus Cody taking on.
I still call him Cody Rhodes.
I'm curious as to how they're gonna follow that up. Are they gonna do like an empty arena match?
They might do it at what the hell? Where does Magnus wrestle? Where does he usually have championship matches?
He wrestles for the NWA at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
Yeah, they could have a match there. You could do something like that. But overall, I thought this was a really good match. Everyone popped. Like, when Cody won, the entire arena
the
exploded.
Loudest pop of the night.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just shows how Cody has gotten over. This was great.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And, but yeah, I consider this a success. I give it an 8 out of 10.
I give it 4 stars too.
Duke.
Well, I give this match, honestly, the presentation, everything else around it, I would give this a 10, but the match itself would be a 5. So I'm going to come down to the middle of this. I would give this a 7, 8. 7, 8 out of 10. Right there. No, it's great. 8 out of 10.
Hey.
Jeff?
Yeah, the storytelling really makes it excel past, any sort of physical shortcomings, which, I mean, honestly, there weren't that many. It wasn't like a big flippy spectacle or anything like that, but it didn't have to be. It was a fantastic story told by everybody did their part. Everybody did their part beautifully, and it was just like this great big feel good moment, and everybody was like just completely invested. And when Aldis hit that elbow drop on Brandy, and everybody's like, I was like, he is right now the most hated man in that building.
Well, it's not, hey, I mean, that's love right there, but
Oh yeah. But as far as rating, I'd give this one like a 4 out of 5.
All right, so there you go. So this next match was both the best and the worst of this show.
This was my favorite match of the night.
Oh, yes.
Hangman Page versus Joey Janela in a Chicago street fight. Now,
Lots of tables,
Lots of tables.
ladders, lots of
My
chairs.
question...
and the Cracker Barrel.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
I asked this question. Has there ever been a Washington, D.C. street fight? Because I've ever been about Chicago or L.A. or anything else, but no Washington, D.C. street fight, which is sad.
It could be if you have it at a show in Washington, D.C.
No, they keep saying, hey, heck, I've been to D.C. show, and they're like, no, we just could call this like a Chicago street. I'm like, you're in D.C.
You can hit people with the National Federal Register.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
So,
I mean, in that case, you might as well like any street fight takes place in the town. There you go, like a Sheboygan street fight. I mean,
so the story of this match is that in being the Elite, Hangman Page got pissed off at Joey Ryan, I guess, because Joey Ryan's gimmick is that he's like
He's a porn star.
He's a porn star. He's got a porn stash.
And his dick has supernatural powers.
He has the power of orgasmo in his dick.
He has the power of super dickery.
Yeah. So and what happened was Hangman Page actually murdered Joey Ryan, and now
which was framed by Christopher Dales to get Stephen Amell in jail, which again, it connects to all of these little stories and such.
Yep.
I do feel though that if you were a casual fan, you probably would have no idea what was going on, since a lot of this is in Being the Elite.
Yeah, like there's just so like I watch Being the Elite, but this is the one storyline I skip. I just haven't. God bless Hangman Page, but he's not my favorite guy.
Yeah,
in the
and
Bullet
meanwhile,
Club.
I saw video of the video of the Elite and everything, and it showed up all the stuff, and they had the cowboy boots talking to him. I'm like, okay, fine.
It's dumb.
Makes about as much sense as anything else in wrestling. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
and then again, it made more sense what happened later on after the match.
Oh no!
So the match, I hate to say it, but I missed the first half because
the first half was insane.
Yeah, I went up to go use the bathroom and buy a pretzel and maybe some merch, but yeah, I come back, I see a Cracker Barrel sitting ringside.
They did a spot with the barrel. Yeah. They did a spot with the barrel, and the whole crowd was chanting "Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong."
Yeah.
Donkey.
Yeah, the commentary made that reference too.
And
like he rolled a barrel.
Amazing.
He rolled a barrel at Joey Janela rolled a barrel at Hangman Page, and he just jumped right over it.
Yeah.
All it was missing was the sound effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that's gonna be on a Botchamania. You just know it.
I was hoping that they'd break the barrel over someone's head, but I don't think it was.
But that would kill their sponsorship. And little fun fact, like right after the match happened, they had a guy to actually take right behind us. He had a camera and he took a picture of the barrel while it was at ringside because apparently he's with the Cracker Barrel sponsors.
Oh god!
And they just wanted it there.
I'm gonna go to the Twitter now and look this up.
Look it up. It has to be seen to be believed. But from what I saw of this match, it was pretty damn good. Like the finish, what's her face, Penelope Ford. There was a bag.
Oh god!
There was a bag that that she kept bringing to the ring, and we're thinking, oh, what's this all about? And eventually Paige gets the bag. That's gonna be the title card of this video. Is just the picture of All In and the Cracker Barrel. Like we just right there. It's so funny. Good lord. And he opens up the bag, and out comes the talking boots. And Paige is just freaking out, looking at the boots.
And
like
they're
talking to him.
They brought the telephone too.
Yeah, the telephone that he used to kill Joey Ryan. I can't wait to see the next episode where they have the bit where the boots are talking to Paige. It's so stupid.
Well, of course, the best spot of there was all sorts of crazy moves, all sorts of crazy spots involving ladders and tables, and then came the scariest table spot I have ever seen.
Oh god.
Yeah, just
Joey and Hangman Page are standing atop the ladder, and they drag both of them down into the table, and it is not a pretty table break.
No.
It's not exactly Japanese table, but Joey Janela legitimately hit his head on the metal frame.
Fuck.
Like, that's how
And and I'm like, well, that means, hey, it looks like there's gonna be no more spring breaks for Joey Janela anytime soon.
Oh. Yeah, but Paige ended up getting the win, and you know what? That was the best finish they could have finished thing on. There was no way they could have topped it.
And then the...
fuck this!
Oh no! Do we want to talk about
this bit made me wish I had.
Do you want to do the match rating first and then go into it, or
I wish I had gone up and gotten that pretzel after the match, so I wouldn't have to witness this.
I'd give the match a 4.5 out of 10. It was craziness.
I'm not giving it a rating because I didn't see the whole match, but I'm gonna be generous and give it a 7.
I'll give it a 9 out of 10 because especially the finish. Holy crap! Man, just that move. I'm like, okay, if he ain't dead before, Jonah dead now, man. He just just that move just like squashed him. I'm like, what? Yeah. No. I'm like, wow, that's how you finish a street fight, ladies and gentlemen.
And then we get an Undertaker style entry.
Writrzblok, did you?
Yeah, 4 out of 5. Penelope's badass. Love the match. Let's get going.
Yeah. And then we get the Undertaker entrance with a bunch of people dressed as penises. I want to skip through this because I don't want to talk about this.
I'll do it. Oh my god. You can go to the bathroom.
So I'm going to the bathroom. Bye bye.
The lights go down, and they basically homage the Undertaker's entrance, and then I see some shapes moving in the background, and I go. They show a graphic on the display of Joey Ryan's 9mm rising up, so his little Uzi vert, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And out come these people wearing inflatable penis costumes, and I go, oh jeez, no!
I saw this. I was like, what in the world? I could just
my ass off.
And I was like, well, Rowdy C will probably, if he sees us, he's just going to point to that image and say, you want serious wrestling? Here, what about this? And we can't really talk about that.
Rowdy C is the God bless him, but I consider him the Jim Cornette of us reviewers.
Oh God!
And he hates Jim Cornette.
Dun dun dun.
And then out comes Joey Ryan, good as new, with tights and socks sponsored by Blow Pop. He had a blow pop in his mouth and he put it in his trunks, which, ew.
He is resurrected.
Why?
And naturally, Hangman tries to grasp his penis and tear it off, but naturally, the pipe is stronger than the hand. And he whips Hangman Page, finishes him with the super kick. The giant penises then carry him out of the arena.
Oh, this was... And then the crowd was chanting, rest in penis.
Yes, they were.
What the fuck did I just
was
watch?
like, what the world? I was like, well... So, is this going to mean that Hangman Page is going to be like Jordan Ryan's disciple and he's going to know Dick
God, no. No! God, no, please, no.
His disciple?
If this was released in Japan, I guarantee all those dicks would be censored.
Actually, Joey Ryan has wrestled in Japan for DDT, which is a comedy promo.
Yeah.
But it was...
Yeah, this was the worst part of the night.
Yeah, I feel bad for all the parents who brought their kids. That's what made... Like, if this was any other show, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but, there were kids in the audience, and yeesh.
Yeah.
Like,
kind
apparently,
of a tug your collar moment, I guess.
Like, apparently, one of the fans told us that they had a pair of parents who brought their, daughter with them, and as soon as the penises came out, they turned her away for the majority of the segment.
I see, that's responsible parenting.
Yeah.
This stuff wouldn't fly in the Attitude Era.
No.
Even if it did have Val Venus squirting people with a squirt gun filled with his DNA, but
I'm pretty sure Val Venus laughed his ass off at this segment.
Oh, yeah.
Let's move on to this before I get sick. So we have our ROH World Championship match. Black Machismo Jay Lethal versus Flip Gordon.
Jay Lethal... Actually, Brandon slapped my shoulder.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah, we got a big match right here. Yeah, it's the
With
ROH
Lonnie
World
Popo.
Champion Jay Lethal as Black Machismo against that little army twerp Flip Gordon. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the idea behind this, years and years ago in TNA, Jay Lethal had the gimmick that
Thanks to the Paparazzi challenge via Kevin Nash.
Yeah, he would do like this really messed up Randy Savage impression. Like he considers himself the Black Randy Savage, and he had it for a few years, but then he dropped it. And then when Being the Elite had Jay Lethal start making his appearances on the show for the build up to All In, they had this gimmick where whenever somebody slapped his shoulder, he would transform into the Black Machismo Randy Savage gimmick, and it's really fun.
Oh yeah,
And
he's got the mannerisms and the voice
Like
down.
he always reaching for his glasses.
yeah, and there was a point where he had Brandy Rhodes up on his shoulder,
Yeah.
thinking that she's Miss Elizabeth. It was.
Ooh yeah, Black Elizabeth.
I will say this: at least it worked.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It helped.
yeah.
It also helped.
It was hilarious. I mean, and honestly, I will call this match. I don't want to say it's a cool down match, but
It was
has
a bit of
some-
a buffer match, but I still had fun watching.
Yeah,
it.
it's a lot of
yes,
fun.
and-
yeah.
Oh yes, and I do like Flip Gore. I'm like this dude.
Yeah. This
actually-
guy's gonna be a star. I'm telling
Oh
you.
yes, I thought he was going to win at some point. So I'm like,
Oh my
that would-
God.
Nah, I had a feeling Lethal was gonna win.
Thing is, he already won by booking his own ass on the show. He
Yeah,
already
exactly.
won the battle.
Yes, well,
He
you
had
know,
his
only
moment.
half the battle. As you know, he was wearing GI Joe trunks.
Uh-huh.
Yes, yes.
Complete with with his name in the GI Joe font.
Yep.
It also helps that Lethal was accompanied to the ring by Lanny Poffo,
Yeah.
and
Brother of Randy Savage.
he also had
Lanny-
he had the Macho Man tights, the Macho Man jacket.
I believe they
Yeah.
said those were actually Macho Man's tights or jacket.
Yeah,
or
that's
something.
Yeah.
that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Castles and all, my friends.
Yeah, it was awesome. And overall, they had a very fun match.
Lots of high spots.
Lots of high
flips.
spots. Lots of flips. There was a part where Flip Gordon did a bunch of like 3 planches at the same time on Lethal.
And-
It was really cool.
Well, the best part was Flip kicks out of one of Lethal's moves. I forget which one it was, and then all of a sudden he becomes Hulk Hogan. Like he
Yeah.
did the
Yeah.
hulking
Yeah, you know what, I
up,
think,
the mannerisms. He
No,
did
no.
the hand gestures.
Lethal did the elbows, and then Flip just completely no-sold, and then just hulked
He
up.
said this.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of the Ultimate Warrior, a little bit of Hulk Hogan. He said this. You.
Ooh, Soldier Boy, tell him.
Please do not reference that song ever again.
Uh,
This was awesome.
It was
really
a
fun.
great match, and Lethal won with the lethal injection to defend his title.
And then the next thing you know, that fat tub of lord Bubba Ray comes out to attack both men. But who makes the save? But Colt Cabana.
Boom, boom, boom. Cabana.
It's Colt Cabana.
And then he gets the table, but then Colt comes out and the 3 team up. They do the shield
Yeah.
triple power
Yeah.
bomb and send Bubba through that table.
They're a little struggle, but they got him up there.
Yeah.
Bully
Well,
Ray.
I
Bully
give
Ray's
this-
head alone must weigh like 30 pounds.
Hey, Mo. Remember, he had an ab once, and he worked hard.
he did have abs once, which I know it seems far off, but
He worked hard for that body.
Yeah. But this was a fun ROH match. I'll give this one. I'll give it an 8.
I'll give
I'll
it.
give it a 7.
I'm gonna give it 4 stars. Simply just for like the all the wackiness that happened. Because I love pro wrestling is a wacky medium, and anything that embraces the wackiness of pro wrestling is a-okay in my book.
How about
Yeah,
you, Jeff?
I give this about 4 stars. Like especially when Flip tries to play Jay's game, like hulking up and shit. It's great stuff.
Yeah, I loved it. And now we move on to My favorite match of the show.
My second favorite.
Oh, I said this was going to be the main the match of the night, and I was right.
Kenny Omega versus Pentagon Jr., or as he's booked on the show, Penta El Zero.
Penta El Zero M. Which I believe is, in English means, well, the Zero M is, say it, Brandon!
Zero fear?
No. The catchphrase of Penta.
Cero miedo!
Exactly.
Which, Penta El Zero M in English would mean Penta of Zero Fear.
Yeah, I was I was looking forward to this match because I really like both guys. Kenny's really awesome.
And remember, he is Pentagon Dark in Lucha Underground, and he is also currently the Lucha Underground champion.
Yeah, the longest reigning since he's been holding on to it, and they haven't really changed. Have they changed reigns yet? I don't think they have.
No. And it is against Kenny Omega, who is the current IWGP champion.
Yeah, these are two of the biggest, most over guys in the entire wrestling promotion right now, wrestling world right now. So.
And I love this match.
This was a great fucking match.
Over spam the V trigger a lot, but hey, you know.
Yeah, well, you know what?
And I love that after one of them, it was like, man, he gave no fucks. He was like this. He's like, come on, hit me, bam, hit him 3 times like, and he's like,
I always love when wrestlers do that, just to show that they feel no pain. Like Shibata versus Ishii, where Shibata leaves himself open for Ishii to chop him, saying, come on, hit me.
And he chopped him.
And then
the part of me kind of kills it for me was that Penta wears that vest. So when you're getting chopped, you can't really feel it with that vest on, can you?
That's the same thing as like Roman Reigns is for Blackjack.
Yeah.
They just gotta they got like it's a $2 one from Walmart. So yeah.
Yeah, but this was a great fucking match. Lots of action. It was they didn't do a whole lot of false finishes.
No, not really.
Like because I know
that's what I think I like about this match the most, was that the finish, that was it.
Yeah.
Mostly. But even though Pentagon did break Kenny Omega's arm, which was
it's like,
I thought that was over, and I told this on my podcast.
Yeah, because whenever I see Penta do the arm break, I actually think, oh shit, he actually broke his arm. Kenny's fucked now. No.
Yeah.
It's called selling.
He sold. He just
exactly.
No, he sold beautifully.
Yes, and I said, Kenny. I thought, Pentagon may have lost right, but he got Kenny's arm. I said that. I think I said that Pentagon was going to win. I was wrong about that, but I said he was going to take on my podcast, DukeCT Lounge. By the way, go check it out after watching this one. By the way, I told him like he's going to break Kenny Omega's arm. I was like, well, hey, that's what. And I'm surprised that that's not an illegal move. They just say, oh, he's about to break. The referee's like, oh, okay, you can do it.
I'll allow it.
Yep, they had a good match. Omega won with the one-winged angel, and so real fun match. But then the
lights went out.
The lights went out, and we think, what's gonna happen?
And then we see Penta in the ring, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe there was a power issue or something.
And then you look, is it Penta? Because if it was, then maybe Penta gained 80. Maybe Pentagon gained 80 pounds.
It's
while
Starrcade
the
1990. They did the Starrcade 1990 finish, where Penta comes out. The fake Penta comes out and suplexes Kenny Omega, and he pulls off his mask, and shock of shocks, it's Chris Jericho.
He flew out here to do a run-in on Kenny Omega and plug in the Jericho Cruise, which looks like...
I love the fact he said, Kenny Omega, you see you on my cruise. I'm like, that's not the most threatening thing I ever heard and such. I'm like,
yeah, but
when you think about threatening, I'm like, he said really threatened by the cruise? That's like, what? That's like one nice vacation? You want a vacation or something? What?
And the real fun thing about it is that right after he did this run-in, Jericho then had to get right onto a jet and fly right to Kansas City for a Fozzy concert. All in the same night. And the best part is, there is actually a footage of him at the concert. He still has the Penta paint on his face. It looks awesome.
That's how he rolls, man.
Father didn't take him into the city to see a marching band for nothing.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
But overall, this was my favorite match of the night. I give it a 9.
I would give this a 10.
Yes.
Because this was my match of the night.
I give it you know what? I liked Joey Janela versus Hangman Page a little more, but I'm gonna give this one 5 stars too.
You know, fuck my 9. I'll give it a 10. Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
There was absolutely nothing wrong with this match at all. This was a great fucking match, and therefore I must give it the full rating.
Oh yes, 5 out of 5. Just sick stuff. Nice to see Kenny like switching arms. To do the one-winged angel, the package pile driver on the apron.
Oh,
that was fucking killed.
Death.
Yeah.
Hardest place on the ring.
Yeah.
How you doing?
It was a phenomenal match. 5 out of 5.
So now we'll move on to
Kazuchika Okada versus Marty Scurll. This felt like a buffer match.
Oh, yes.
Okada in a buffer match.
As far as buffer matches go, it's actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, hey, it could have been worse. He could have been come out as Okado again.
No. Well, so here's the story behind this match. Marty Scurll, he's a small guy. He's been in the junior heavyweight champion. He's a former junior heavyweight champion, a open weight champion.
Never open weight champion.
Never. He's trying to get. He wants to show that he can fit in with the heavyweights, and what better way to showcase how you can fit in with the heavies than going up against the longest reigning IWGP champion in history, and that is Okada. Yes.
And by the way, you know what I love about it is that that pre thing. I was like, even though the pre-show thing with Marty Scurll breaking fingers, I'm like, and I said this on Twitter, I'm like, if he was really trying to be like the Penguin, I'm like, you should have went in, getting close enough, and just bite their noses off or something.
Yeah.
Like he's Hawkeye.
Hey, it's like Batman Returns, like it could be worse. I could be gushing with blood. It's like, oh, really? I just bit the guy's nose off. Hey, that would have been like so desperation and such there. So,
I thought this was a really good match. I think I'd say it's my second best favorite match on the show.
I thought it was all right. I missed most of it due to me going up to the merchandise table and wanting to buy a shirt.
Don't worry, I saved one of those bucks that
yes,
Okada flew
I have
down.
the Okada money.
Yeah.
Oh yes, he is the Rainmaker, of course.
He
Well, now now in New Japan he's the Balloon Maker.
Is Okada a heel?
No, he's a babyface, but he has heelish tendencies.
Yeah, it's so weird, but this was a fun match. The first half it kind of dragged, like Marty was trying to get a feeling out process, and giving a "come on, hit me," just all that kind of stuff. But I think once it started going, I thought it got really good.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you cut down the 10 minutes off this match, this could have been really, really good.
There was
it just says a bit of a lull, but once it got going, I was like, all right, got to second to third gear, it got really good. I love the part where he, where the referee, okay, rough bump, but yeah,
this
he looked
ref sucks.
But yeah, it looked like Okada was going to hit the Rainmaker. Marty Scurll comes in, gets his umbrella, and you know what? What stops a Rainmaker? An umbrella.
I did not get that until you mentioned it. That is very clever.
Oh, yes. Did the commentary team make fun of that, or did they just...
No, they're just like, yeah, there it is. That's how you stop a rain. How about a little umbrella? And I was like, yep. And then, and I thought that was a brilliant finish of him. Just like he hit the umbrella, hit the umbrella on him, and then hit the Rainmaker on him. And I'm like, that's actually a pretty cool finish. I mean, hey, he is the villain after all. So.
Yeah.
But overall, though, it was a good match.
Can I just say this, though? Okada did a great comedy spot where he was getting Scurll in a ready position for, I think a tombstone, and he holds his hands up, looks to the crowd, and gestures 205.
Oh.
And there was a weigh-in conference right before the right during Starrcast, and he goes on a scale with his suit and everything, and he claims that he's currently 350 pounds. Yeah, because he wants to be the heavyweight. And really funny, also in regards to the weight thing, they said that when they weighed Cody, he was 206. And then everybody just started chanting, 206, 206. Like 206. I think I saw a 206 live sign in the audience.
There was a 205 live Marty.
No, it's 205 Marty. That's what it's
205 Marty. Yeah.
Oh, yes. That's what it was. And I was like, man, no, that's terrible. You don't want to put that. That's a rate worse than death. Put Marty on 205 live. I'm like, no.
So in the home stretch, at one point, Marty actually did the finger crack, and Okada is just freaking out. And I'm thinking, holy shit, this is going to be the end of the match. But then the motherfucker actually snaps his finger back into place, and we all just start chanting, "You sick fuck." And Okada managed to make a comeback, and he eventually hit 2 Rainmakers on Marty and got the win.
Yeah, you want to make a statement like, no, man, you stay in your lane.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, that pretty much it was a real fun match. Second favorite, I'll give it a 8, 8.5.
I'll give it
Hey, I'll give it like a 8.
8.
I'll give. You know what? I'll go with everyone else. I'll give it a 4.
Ooh.
But that's only from what I've seen. I didn't see the whole match.
Okay. How about you, Jeff?
If it had gone the way it began, it would have been at least a 2 or a 3. But once it started getting going, like you guys said, it started getting really, really damn good. So I'd probably give it about a 4.
All right. So this main event, here's the story behind the main event. Originally, it was supposed to go about 25, 30 minutes, but they were approaching the end time because they ran long.
I think this was actually pretty good for the match overall.
I enjoy it. Only went 12 minutes, but I thought it was a good way to go out.
But like I said, even if the problem is if it went that long, I think it would have overstayed welcome.
I think if they had cut down on maybe if the Skrull Okada match didn't go so long, or if the Son of Havoc match didn't happen or not.
Exist.
I don't know.
But that's what the thing is. I would say personally, cut off the Macross match and take down a little bit from the Izuka Skrull match. Okada Skrull. Yeah. Bam. You have make it 10 minutes, 16 minutes. Boom, you'll have more time. But I worry about matches like these 6-man matches. You don't need 20 minutes for those. Yeah. I think you need at least 10, maybe 15.
And it was the perfect length because honestly, I'm not really a big fan of the Young Bucks. I get why people like them, and Nick and Matt Jackson are all wonderful people. But it's just I don't like they sell like John Cena. Let's put it that way.
They know how to sell merch, but they can't sell in matches. This whole match was one. It's Matt and Nick Jackson and Kota Ibushi versus Rey Mysterio, Rey Fenix, and Bandito, who, when I first saw this guy, I thought it was Neville in a mask.
Me too. He had the same hair.
Same build. But no, it's a real luchador. And Mysterio came out dressed as Wolverine, which I thought was really cool.
That was funny
because he's dressed as Captain America, Spider-Man. Did he do Iron Man at one point?
I don't know. He's done other different ones like the Phantom.
He was the. That is cool that he was the Phantom.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he has done multiple stuff, and the Joker too.
And the Joker.
So,
I'm still waiting for him to swing for the cheap seats and go with Kamen Rider.
Yeah, that could be cool. So they had an all babyface, all action, non-stop, non-selling spot fest. It was fun for what we saw.
Yes, Rey Fenix was amazing. And he is the AAA champion. Got the belt with him. I'm like, this dude deserves it, and he deserves more because this guy is great. He is. I think he's just around that Rey Mysterio peer. People saying he's the next version of Rey Mysterio. I think he could be.
I haven't seen a whole lot of Phoenix. I saw a little bit of him in Lucha Underground, but yeah, I like what he sees so far. He could be a big star if booked right.
Yeah, and he does have the championships, the pedigree to do it because he's current AAA champ. Rey Mysterio, no need to, he's already a legend. And to go again, Kota Ibushi. The only time I saw him, first time I saw him, was, the cruiserweight champion, the cruiserweight open, and I'm like, wow, this guy's really good, and it gave me a chance to really look into what he in his other stuff. But man, he is very good.
If you want to see, Kota Ibushi in motion, watch his match with Shinsuke Nakamura from Wrestle Kingdom 9.
Yeah,
that was match of the year.
And funny enough, he was Tiger Mask W. He was Tiger Mask W.
We got to review that show at some point.
We should.
One day. Yes, but this was again a very fun match. Something that I honestly was surprised wasn't the opener, because it just felt like everyone got the crowd up and excited. But in the end, I loved it, and I loved the Meltzer driver finishing, because more often than not that doesn't finish matches. But I'm like, wow, it actually finished a match. Good.
Dave Meltzer was in the crowd when they were watching it, so.
We were all expecting Dave Meltzer to do a run-in. It'd be the first time he'd ever been in a ring in his life.
Yeah, thing is, that would only work if he ate like 3 super kicks.
There's a lot of people out there who would love to see Meltzer get super kicked.
And so
that would have made all it even more better.
Yeah.
But overall, this was a great event.
Absolutely.
Apparently they went right off the air after this ended, right?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
What you guys didn't see was right after they had all the Bullet Club come into the ring. They had the Bucks. They had Kenny,
Cody, Marty.
No Marty.
No,
I didn't see Marty in there.
Hangman was there.
Hangman was there, but Marty was in the back. I don't know if he was taking a shower or he was hurt or something. I don't know what the heck happened, but I don't know. Maybe it might be an angle leading to a breakup. Who knows? But they thanked the fans. They said they finished the match with about 93 seconds to spare.
3 seconds.
3 seconds. Holy shit. Yeah, but I will say this, even though the main event was rushed, and the main event, I will still give it an 8.
I'm going to give it an 8 too.
I give it an 8 too. A very good way to end the show.
Jeff?
4 out of 5.
8.
Yeah, 4 out of 5. Everybody looked like $1 million.
Yeah. You know what? At least they ended it, because it could have been worse. It could have been that WCW Halloween Havoc, which
where they went overtime. They had to have it on a TV or something like that.
Yeah, they had to show the Goldberg DDP match on free TV the next night. Apparently, like the Joey Janela Hangman Page match went longer than expected because the ref didn't have his earpiece in.
Oops.
Yeah, and I heard. Yeah, and I heard Okada Skrull went over too.
Yeah, it was 26 minutes long when it should have gone 15 or 16 or something.
And this was a 5-hour show, but it felt like
blew.
It felt like 3.
Yes.
It just blew through.
It's amazing.
No lag. The audience didn't feel tired.
No, it was the entire time. They were hot. There were chants. There were all-in chants, being the elite chants. Just one of the hottest crowds I've ever been in.
And I'll tell you this. This more than makes up for my experience at Backlash.
Yeah, this poor fucker went to Backlash earlier on this year.
God.
A main event that features Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe, that features Joe putting Reigns in a headlock for 5 minutes.
Yes, it was. I feel bad for you, man, but this made up for it, right?
Oh, more than enough. Isn't it amazing what happens when you book a wrestling show that may not necessarily have big, long-running storylines, but has angles and matchups and stories that people care about? Like, maybe not the MJF or Okada or Kenny and Penta matches, but, the ones that did have angles were all great.
Yes. And I would really love to give a big congratulations to the Bullet Club, Cody, and everybody for making this whole show happen. It's I've only been to about 3 wrestling shows my entire life. This was the best wrestling show I've been to yet.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I'd love to see All In 2.
They hinted at All In 2, but they said, Cody said, if you're gonna continue the All In bet, you gotta double down. my guess is for the best place to have it, it would likely be T-Mobile
Washington, D.C.
Las Vegas.
T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Because it's a big arena. It can sit about 20,000, I think. It's also extremely cheap to rent.
Yeah, so... But I think...
My hope is, well, if they do, well, I'm still hoping my DC off so I can actually go to this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, this show is a statement. It's trying to show... It's a way of showing that pro wrestling can be fun. Like... What WWE has been doing with these retarded storylines, having all the favorite wrestlers turn on the crowds for no reason, and having all these boring-ass matches where it's nothing but chin locks. There were a couple rest holds in some of the matches, but they weren't 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
And they weren't the same one, Baron Corbin.
Yeah. And honestly, it brings back what wrestling was originally supposed to be. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's showing off lots of good stunts, lots of moves, lots of craziness, just getting the crowd excited to watch. It was a blast. Like, Starrcast, I had a lot of fun there. I had a lot of fun meeting all the wrestlers, and you had a show like this to go along with it. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I would not I would love to come to another one if it was closer to Jersey.
Yeah. But I thank the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes for making All In possible. I thank Conrad Thompson for Starrcast. I thank Fight.tv for bringing me and Brandon there. But above all else, I thank the Lord for blessing me with this amazing gift.
Each and every one of you! Basically.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
how about
yes,
Duke, you give your thoughts, Duke.
I again, was it the perfect show, the greatest show? No, but I thought, when I watched the whole thing, I was like, this is, it's what wrestling is missing. I mean, what pro wrestling has been. The two best shows right now made, the best pay-per-views, were from Impact Wrestling and this show. Because even though SummerSlam, all this stuff, and you can say, oh, what about NXT? I'm like, fine. But to me, when you look out the whole world of wrestling, it needs this type of stuff. It needs this type of competition. It needs this. People just can't just go to WWE. Not everyone needs to go to WWE. Not everyone needs to go to this type of stuff. They can make things actually be independent. They can actually do some things that actually are interesting and tell stories and tell interesting stuff that is actually fun and engaging to not just the for ourselves, but other audiences. So yeah, it's again a great night, an emotional night, something that will be a historic night. People say that hashtag historic. WES that throws away every 5 minutes, but this was historic. This was historic because it showed again people. There is an audience for this type of wrestling. There is an audience for people just starving to have something other than WWE. And I hopefully that this starts something good. Because again, we will see something like this later on. Hopefully I'll be going to this, fingers crossed, to the Ring of Honor New Japan show that's happening in Madison Garden.
Yeah, as I said, I don't plan on going to WrestleMania next year. Not only because it's expensive, but I'm not gonna sit in MetLife Stadium for 5 hours of nothing.
Yeah, I might just skip the rest. I mean, I like WrestleMania. I've been to as a bucket list, but when I see these type of shows, these stuff like other independents, this stuff is something that makes people say, you know what? It actually gives some people who are in WWE right now say, you know what? I'm not doing anything else. Let me go out here and actually see what I'm worth.
And I feel,
why might go out there and actually do something? Cody Rhodes just did that. So you know what? I can't hate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is actually brilliant.
Jeff, any final thoughts?
Well, this event basically showed that pro wrestling does not need WWE to survive. It's basically a mission statement. And Cody, and I saw the video of what they said afterwards. I only remember a couple things, like Cody saying, "You know what I really love? That everybody is staying in their seats after the main event," which I had to chuckle at. Also,
I didn't see anybody leaving the arena.
I saw like a handful of people, but everyone just stayed.
Yeah.
It wasn't a mass exodus of people. Yeah, this was history. This was history in the making. Like, not just for the matches, which not a single bad match. Not a single bad match. No, I mean, yeah, you could say like one match, couldn't have been, shouldn't have been on the card, or should have been on the pre-show or whatever. Still, not a single bad match. Not even the pre-show.
Yeah,
None
the
of
pre-show
the
was good too.
As I said,
Good.
the pre-show rewrote the book on how you make a battle royal. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you look at the Andre the Giant battle royal, and after watching this, you go, well, what's the point?
Yeah, all you're getting is a trophy. You're not getting anything else.
Yeah,
from
and
it.
it's just like a bunch of jabronis in there this whole time, but you have, like, I didn't count, but it's like 15 people. That's the right amount of people, and it was long enough where everyone showed off why they're great.
Yeah. Really, I just thought this was the best wrestling event all year. I mean, at a WWE show, like especially say like WrestleMania or SummerSlam, you'll probably get maybe two, maybe 3 matches of some good quality. I mean, but here everything was either really good to fucking awesome, and like that's the kind of event you want for a wrestling promotion.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's like, this blows pretty much everything WWE does out of the water. Like, from the storytelling, from the match quality. I mean, yeah, there were technical issues, but that's going to happen. Really, it's just, I love this show. I loved it, from beginning to end.
So we're in a bit of a rush too, because we got another podcast we got to do. So I think we can all agree.
Don't forget about the pyro. The pyro was great.
Pyro, cameos, appearances, everything. We can all agree. 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Way up.
Two thumbs way up.
Yes.
Before we leave, one thing I forgot to mention about Starrcast. First thing we saw, I said, the one wrestler I'd love to meet here is PCO, because PCO has been an amazing success story for wrestling this year.
Yep, and you got to meet him.
Oh no, we didn't just meet him. First thing we saw at Starrcast was that little display of strength he did in the lobby.
Yeah, breaking.
They were breaking
pins and darts thrown into his chest and everything.
Yeah, like his manager. I don't know what his name of it is, but like
Destro or something.
Yeah, Destro. He stapled like a picture of the Undertaker to his chest,
and Undertaker got booed.
He ripped a tennis ball in half with his teeth. He was tearing whole decks of cards in two. He had he got zapped with a car battery.
Kinda.
And he had 2 concrete blocks broken over his chest.
Yeah, it was funny.
I love PCO, and I would have put him in that battle royal.
Yeah, he could have.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Could you imagine him and Brian Cage?
Oh my God! That's a match made in heaven.
All in 2.
Yes.
All right, we gotta get going, guys. But
all right.
This was a lot of fun. It was great, best shows I've ever been to. All kinds of craziness. Great meeting all the wrestlers, and really good review to pull it off. It was good having Duke and Writrzblok on.
No problem.
Thanks for having us.
Now we got to start our BattleBots review, and we got to get Alex the Hunted on. So until next time, guys, peace out and cease.
Oh wait, I already used that one.
Cease and desist. Cease and desist.
Yes, there we go. Cease and desist.